Scroll through the internet and you will find endless recipes for making your own skincare. The appeal is obvious, skipping expensive clinical treatments by using raw kitchen-based ingredients like lemon juice, baking soda, and essential oils to clear breakouts and brighten skin. Inside a dermatology clinic, the results of this trend look very different. Dermatologists are treating a massive surge of chemical burns, destroyed skin barriers, and severe post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation directly caused by these homemade mixtures. The error happens when we treat skincare formulation like food preparation. We assume that because an ingredient is natural, it is safe for the skin. In reality, these are volatile chemicals being applied without stabilization, testing, or precision. Skin health does not operate on common sense. It is governed by two strict, unyielding scientific boundaries: the physical depth of human biology and the chemical stability of the active molecules. Ignoring these boundaries turns a well-intentioned home routine into a useless and often actively damaging chemical reaction. Human skin is divided into two distinct layers: the shallow epidermis, sitting directly above the deeper, thicker dermis. Cosmetic-grade topical treatments absorb into the surface, but hit a physical boundary and stop completely. Major concerns like acne scarring, severe collagen loss, and melasma-causing melanin deposits sit deep within the dermis. Because topicals cannot penetrate this deep, these conditions are completely out of reach for a surface serum. People often try to bypass this limitation by using highly concentrated, harsh DIY ingredients. They apply lemon juice, which is highly acidic with a pH of roughly 2, or baking soda, which is highly alkaline at a pH of 9. The skin's protective acid mantle operates at a delicate pH of 4.5 to 5.5. Forcing extreme pH ingredients onto the face violently strips this barrier, tearing the structure apart, dehydrating the tissue, and breeding bacterial colonization. Internal, systemic drivers bypass surface treatments for a different reason. Cystic acne driven by hormones or PCOD-linked hair thinning operate from the inside out. A topical cream cannot alter your internal biology. Any condition originating in the dermis or driven by internal biology requires clinical intervention, like medical-grade lasers or prescription medication. Topicals manage surface health. They do not reconstruct tissue. The second boundary is chemical stability. L-ascorbic acid, the most effective form of vitamin C, is a brilliant antioxidant. It is also inherently unstable the moment it leaves a controlled environment. Exposed to oxygen, light, or heat, L-ascorbic acid loses an electron. It warps into DHAA, losing biological activity. If degradation continues, it hits chemical death, fragmenting into DKG, providing zero skincare value. This chemical death is visible to the naked eye. If your serum is dispensing a clear or pale yellow liquid, the molecule is active. Once it turns orange or brown, it is useless and will only deposit staining byproducts onto your skin. Keeping this molecule alive requires intense engineering. Chemists lower the pH below 3.5, use areas pumps to block oxygen, and add co-antioxidants like ferulic acid to take the oxidative hit instead of the vitamin C. DIY recipes and poorly formulated products completely lack this engineering. Without it, you aren't applying active skincare. You are applying dead, degraded chemical byproducts. We have to reframe how we look at our routines. Natural does not mean safe, and an expensive price tag means nothing if the active chemistry inside the bottle has degraded. A scientifically supported home routine actually has very specific limits: a gentle cleanser to remove debris, a fragrance-free moisturizer to maintain the lipid barrier, and a broad-spectrum SPF 30+ to block UV radiation. When you do introduce active molecules like vitamin C, the rules are strict. Store them in dark, refrigerated spaces to slow the chemical kinetics, close them immediately after use, and throw them away at the first sign of a dark color change. The definitive trigger for booking a dermatologist is time. If a skin concern persists despite months of a consistent, well-formulated home routine, it has crossed the biological boundary into the dermis. Effective skincare abandons kitchen alchemy. It requires acknowledging the strict boundaries of human biology, respecting the volatility of chemical stability, and knowing exactly when to step across the clinical line. To achieve a perfectly radiant, highly reflective complexion, you need specific active ingredients working in harmony at the cellular level. Commercial brands package these chemical components into highly priced formulas, but you likely already have the necessary building blocks sitting right in your kitchen. We are going to synthesize a custom compound using two primary elements: the potent antioxidant properties of vitamin C and the hydrating matrix of fresh aloe vera. For this to work, you need the specific active form of vitamin C. Look for L-ascorbic acid powder. This is the exact compound your skin recognizes and uses for repair. You will also need proper hardware to keep the final mixture stable. Secure a clean, airtight glass bottle. A dark-colored bottle is essential here, and we will cover exactly why in a moment. By controlling these raw materials, you bypass the retail markup of the commercial skincare industry and formulate a fresh, biologically active compound directly from home. Step 1 is establishing your starting environment. In a clean bowl, measure out exactly 2 tablespoons of extracted aloe vera gel. The physical texture of the base is strict. It must be entirely smooth and free of any organic lumps. If the matrix is uneven, it will sit on the surface of your skin rather than absorbing into it. Next, we introduce the active ingredient. Slowly mix in exactly 1 teaspoon of your L-ascorbic acid powder. Do not exceed this 1 teaspoon limit. Over-concentrating the acid will trigger a harsh dermal reaction, leading to redness and burning. To break down the compound safely, add 1 to 2 teaspoons of distilled water or pure rose water. Stir slowly to initiate the dilution phase. If your skin barrier requires extra repair, you can introduce 3 to 4 drops of glycerin or vitamin E oil at this stage. Mix thoroughly until you reach the target viscosity. You are looking for a smooth, slightly runny gel that holds together but flows easily off a spoon. Adhering strictly to these physical ratios is what prevents barrier destruction, while maximizing how efficiently your cells absorb the active acids. With the synthesis complete, immediately transfer the fresh serum into your dark-colored glass bottle. This diagram shows exactly why a dark container is mandatory. L-ascorbic acid is chemically fragile. When exposed to light and heat, the molecule degrades into smaller fragments through oxidation. This breakdown rapidly neutralizes antioxidant properties, rendering the batch useless. To slow this degradation, you must store the bottle in the refrigerator. Even under perfect conditions, this compound has a strict biological lifespan and expires in 5 to 7 days. Keep a close eye on the color. If your liquid shifts from a clear white to a brownish yellow, oxidation has occurred. The serum is dead and must be discarded. This fragility is exactly why synthesizing microbatches weekly at home is chemically superior to buying commercial formulas that degrade slowly on warm retail shelves. To apply the formula, your face must be freshly cleansed and completely dry. Any residual moisture will alter the absorption rate. Dispense a strict microdosage. 2 or 3 drops is enough to cover the entire face and neck. Use your fingertips to gently and rhythmically tap the clear liquid into the skin in an upward motion. Do not use a harsh rubbing motion. Rubbing disrupts the even spread of the active acid and physically aggravates the surface of your skin. Allow a mandatory 2 to 3 minute absorption window. The skin needs this pause to process the acid before any other compounds are introduced. Once absorbed, apply a standard light moisturizer. This final layer seals the skin barrier and locks the newly introduced hydration in place. If you apply this in the morning, be aware that vitamin C increases your cellular photosensitivity. Applying an SPF immediately afterward is a mandatory safety rule. Proper mechanical tapping and strict UV protection dictate your success. Without them, even a perfect chemical mixture will fail to yield results. You now possess a highly potent, fresh batch of active vitamin C serum. Before your first full application, perform a small patch test on your inner arm or neck to verify your skin's tolerance to the acid. This chart tracks the biological timeline. With consistent application over 21 days, we see a distinct rising curve in collagen synthesis, while hyperpigmentation steadily declines. Over these weeks, cells utilize the acid to increase collagen production, fading acne scars and restoring structural elasticity. The ultimate physiological result is a visibly brightened, smooth complexion with high elasticity and a natural, healthy glow. True dermatological repair is not bought in expensive, degrading packaging. It is synthesized through the consistent, disciplined application of basic chemistry right in your own home.